Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Holly, the owner of the Salty Spray, Navy veteran, and your go-to girl for a perfect spray tan. Today, I have a very special guest, my sweet friend and copywriting queen, Emily Claire. She's the founder of the 10K Email Club, one of the most encouraging human beings I have ever met, and she just got her very first spray tan. Emily, welcome, and thank you so much for taking time to chat with me today.
Holly, thank you for that incredible introduction. I am so excited to be here. And I have to preface this by saying, in case anyone is watching this right now, I'm getting my next spray tan on Friday. So, like, the old one is wearing off. So, I'm not super tan today. So, no judgment.
Same. I was like, I picked the worst time not to have a fresh spray tan. I need one as well. I just scrubbed mine off yesterday.
Luckily, I think you know the right people.
Yes, I do. Emily, you reached out to me right before your appointment asking me for my spray tan prep guide. What made you decide to finally try a spray tan?
Oh my gosh, this is such a good question. So I just moved to Texas. I was living in New York where I feel like it doesn't really matter if you're like being pale is kind of like hipster and artsy up there, right? Like it doesn't really matter. I've been pale my entire life and I'm just used to it because I grew up very pale. I'm very fair. And to me, being out in the sun, to me, always translated to like pain, right? If that makes sense, because I thought of it as sunburn. So I just always thought I could never be a tan person. I was at a networking event for female founders. I love working with female founders like you, Holly. And I met the founders of this spray tan business. And I think at that point for me, it was like between knowing you and knowing them, I was like, okay, I think the universe is telling me that I finally need to try this. So I think moving to Texas for me was like the final like push because down here,
Mhm.
everybody is tan because everybody's outside all the time. And I kept wearing skirts and shorts and I was looking at my legs. I was like, I just don't like how they look. Like, I want to look tan. I want to have that glow. You know what I mean? When I remember you were always talking to me about this glow, right? And I was like, I just want to know what that feels like. So I figured I had nothing to lose. And I figured if I hated it, okay, why not? You know?
Yeah.
And so that's when I was like, okay, I know Holly. Holly's clients seem to absolutely love her. I met these other women. They seem cool. Let's just try a spray tan and see what happens. And I told you, I think I messaged you immediately. I was like, I'm never going back. This is amazing.
Yeah, I love that. And so when you got the prep guide, did anything in there surprise you?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I also like if I could go back in time, I would take that 10 times more seriously because your prep guide is super helpful. Everything that you have in there, I was like, okay, 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 okay. I didn't understand how the whole process would work. So your prep guide says wear loose start clothing. I
Yeah.
wore like a tank top and jean shorts. And I walked out of there and I was like, oh, this is such a bad decision. I had to go out and literally like clean off the seats of my car afterwards because I had like oozed onto them. So your prep guide was super helpful. I should have taken it more seriously, but also just in terms of like hydration and exfoliation and things like that with showering, all that kind of stuff I felt was really, really helpful. I think anybody who goes for a spray tan should get your guide because especially if it's a new experience. I mean, a spray tan really is unlike any experience I've had, waxing, nails, hair, whatever. It's just different. And so I think the right prep is pretty essential.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because that's one of the pro tips that I always try to share. Another big thing for me, like me personally, I prefer wearing long sleeves and baggy like sweats because
Yeah.
even like if you fold your arms or you put your hands on your arms, that bronzer can transfer to the palm of your hand and just not look really good. So I might need to be more specific about that in my guide.
I thought your guide was great, but I literally came home and I mean, I think this is probably in your guide, right? And it was from the women who were at the spray tan business where I went to, and they were like, "Yeah, a lot of people wear like, like sweatsuits or something like that," which I
Mhm.
just never thought of because I was like, "I'm in Texas and it's so hot." I literally came home and went on Amazon and was like, "I need a dark sweatsuit."
Yeah.
Like
So let's talk about the moment of truth. You walk into the salon, like what were you expecting?
I think my perception of spray tanning is incredibly positive because of you. Like, I
Yeah.
know the way that you are and the way that you run your business. And walking into this salon, it kind of felt very similar. It was light and bright and welcoming, which is funny because I heard from a few people that like spray tanning in the past has kind of been this weird, not so cool thing, right? And my
Mhm.
experience with it was like, lovely and high quality and premium and nice. And that for me is the kind of feeling that I want when I go in to do anything that I feel like is going to make me feel more beautiful or more confident. So for me, the experience was like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and let's call out the salon that you went to because I looked it up on Instagram and they have a killer profile. It looks like it is an amazing place to go. What was the name of it again?
The name is called Go Glow, and it's these two women, I think, who founded the business actually in Minnesota of all places. And now they're popping up in a few other places all around the states, but they're fabulous. Like they're so nice. The women are awesome. They make you feel so comfortable, so beautiful. They're really awesome.
And so you get your spray tan, and then you look in the mirror and thought, what?
Holly, I was shocked. I was like, I'm never doing this again. I look crazy. Like, I look crazy. Like, if I send this to the family chat, this is blackmail material. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like my eyes were so white and everything else was just really orange. So I had like a momentary panic. The woman who did, I guess it's a spray tan technician, I guess is what they're called.
Mhm.
She was really sweet. And she was like, because you're really fair, shower in 3 hours, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
I think, I guess depends on how long you want it to stay. I guess you put off the shower, correct?
hmm If
Right.
there is a rapid solution, and the longer you keep it on, the darker you get. So I assume you
That
did the rapid.
I did the rapid because I was like, I don't want to like sit. Like it was my
Yes.
first time. I was like, I just want to get this over with and make this quick because what if I hate it, right?
Yeah.
She was like, you need to shower in 3 hours. And I was like, okay, I can't wait to shower, because I was like, I can't wait to see how I look. And it was so funny because there they were like, are you interested in signing up for like a membership? And I remember I very honestly told these people, I was like, y'all, I look crazy right now. So like, I'm not about to sign up for anything. When I get home and I shower and I look beautiful, like then we can talk.
Yeah.
And I did. I literally texted them afterwards. I was like, I absolutely love this. I'm ready to sign up for a membership to go back in time. So then, yes, I thought I looked absolutely crazy. Then I drove
Mhm.
home and I walked in the door and my husband saw me. And it took everything within him not to like literally just cackle. Like he just kind of looked at me and was like, you know how you can tell when someone's like holding in a laugh? And then he looked
Yeah.
at me, he was like, is it supposed to look this way? You know?
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I shower soon. I shower, don't worry. Yeah. And then I did shower and everything was great.
Yeah, I always tell my clients, especially ones that, this is their first time, I always like, look, you're going to look dirty before you look amazing. Don't worry. The bronzer is just doing its job, developing. If people aren't prepared for that, it will definitely catch them off guard.
Yes, 100%.
Tell me about after you rinsed. Did they tell you to just rinse only with water and not use soap, or how did that?
Correct.
Okay. And so when you rinsed, did you kind of like panic because it was all coming off and you thought, oh no, how did that process go for you?
I think when I rinsed, I was honestly just more curious than anything.
Hmm.
Like, how much of this is going to stay on? And another thing that I also thought is I had this moment, I was like, I have white towels. Is this a really bad
Mm-hmm.
decision?
Yep.
But it actually wound up being fine. It was really interesting. And they even said, they have like a post-care guide and it was,
Hmm.
shower until the water runs clean.
Clear. Yeah. Hmm.
And in the beginning, I was like, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in here for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
No, so eventually like it started to come off and it was really interesting. I remember when I stepped out of the shower, I used my towel. It
Hmm.
was fine. My towel was not covered in, bronzer or solution. It
Hmm.
was actually totally fine. And I think that maybe there was like a moment of adjustment. I don't really remember, but I kind of had this moment where I caught myself in the mirror and I grew up with three sisters. And my one
Hmm.
sister, or two of my sisters, are very like they have darker skin and they have darker hair and they always look beautifully tanned in the summer. I was always so
Hmm.
jealous. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my gosh, like I look tan like they did. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Yeah.
I had this moment of this is so cool. I'm tan. I literally was like, oh my God, I'm tan. And I didn't look
Right.
crazy anymore. I was
Mhm.
just super happy.
When I first did it, I would kind of panic and like, oh no, all the color's going away. So I always tell my clients, like, listen, when you rinse, you're going to see all the bronzer come off, but don't worry because the tan process is for 24 hours. So you really see the full color 24 hours after the spray.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's really good to know.
Okay, last question. What is your number one tip for someone who's thinking about getting their very first spray tan?
I would say my number one tip is to go to a place or a person who makes you feel super comfortable. Because for me, and I think for so many of us, trying something new can be scary, right? I mean, we're creatures of habit and we really have our routines. We have the one hair person we always go to, you know what I mean? And so
Mhm.
something like this for me really felt like I remember telling my husband afterwards, I was like, I think it's fun that I tried something new and I really liked it, right? So I honestly thought of you while I was doing this as well, because first of all, I think it's amazing that you go to people's houses because
Mhm.
I had to get gas after the spray
Yeah.
tan. And I was like, I can't go in public. Like I had
Yeah.
like a baseball cap on and sunglasses, and I was trying to just like not encounter any person I knew.
Yeah.
And I think so much of it is, I mean, you're basically standing there naked in front of someone, right? So it really, really helps to just go to a people or person that have great reviews, right? Or
Mhm.
come from recommended from a friend, or just make you feel comfortable. Because I think for me that would have like made or broke the experience, like a make or break experience, in the sense that the woman I had was just wonderful, like wonderful. In the same way that I think, your clients rave about the way that you make them feel when they're going through this process with you. So I think
Mhm.
that would honestly be my number one tip.
I love that because that's like one of my biggest goals as a business owner and in this specific business is I'm coming into your home, you're getting undressed and you're going to be half naked, if not all the way naked. And I need you to trust me, you know? So I feel like that is the best tip that you could give.
You get close to people really quickly.
Yes, exactly. So I love that. Okay, real quick, Emily, before we wrap up, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about what you do and where they can find you.
Oh my God, Holly, you're the best. Thank you so much. So I'm the founder of the 10K Email Club, which is a monthly marketing membership for female founders of female-founded businesses, where if you are struggling to see results from your emails, you don't have a good relationship with your email newsletter, and the idea of sales emails like totally freaks you out, my 10K Email Club is the place for you. I would be thrilled if anybody listening to this wants to follow me on Instagram. It's Emily in Hamburg. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And y'all, I have worked with Emily for over a year now. It's probably, yeah, it's going on
No.
2 years, probably. Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think we hit a year in August or July
I'm
or
gonna
August.
go back and check. I
I
bet you're
think it
right.
was
Oh my
July.
goodness.
Yeah. And I cannot say enough good things. Emily is the reason that I'm still sending the salty scoop. And I always leave our calls. Every time I talk to you, Emily, I leave feeling more confident. And even when I'm not sure I'm doing anything right, you always give me that motivation and drive, and I really appreciate it. And for anybody that's listening, if you've been thinking about stepping up your email game, go follow her now. Just sign up for her newsletter. You will not regret it.
Holly, thank you so much. Working with
Of
you is
course.
such a joy. And I told you as soon as I signed up for my first spray tan, I wish we lived closer together because I would 100% have come to you.
I know. Okay, friends, if you've enjoyed this episode, hit the like button, drop a comment, share it with someone who's been debating about booking that spray tan, and hopefully this will inspire them to go out and try something that's healthy for them. I'll link both my pre and post tan guide below and Emily's information, and I will see you in the tent. Stay salty.